Good morning. I'm out here hiking in a nice, fairly chilly, gray, normal Michigan templated day in the winter. And but it doesn't seem so gray to me because yesterday we had a pretty amazing meeting at Mindscape. We had we just recently got a new office, which is odd because April 1st of 2020, we went fully remote as an organization and kind of did away with the office. But over time, we've realized that out of the 14 Mindscapers that exist, there are no less than 4 social creatures who have felt a little bit trapped. And, it's important to make sure the whole team has what they need. So we looked into co-working spaces and different stuff like that and ended up just going with a smaller office, minimally furnished, but it's a perfect place for people to come together and be able to either collaborate, work on projects, or in the rare instance, post-COVID, that we actually have to meet with clients on a face-to-face basis, and we'll be doing that. So, but yeah, it was, so literally yesterday as we talked about our planning. We're a little bit late releasing it to the team, but due to some unforeseen circumstances or the tail end of last year, it slowed us down a little bit. But it was the first time that I had addressed the team in an eyeball-to-eyeball manner in almost 3 years now, and it was wonderful. One of the things that I really enjoyed about it, especially as I've been hiking this morning, is thinking through the distinctions now that I've been through all this self reflection and kind of examining those foundational beliefs that I had developed in my formative years that I had clung to. I noticed that there was a different feeling in the conversation yesterday, and the biggest difference was pre-self-reflection whenever I would be addressing the team, because our average tenure there is about 10 and a half years. Some team members have been with us for 14, 15, or even the entire 21 years we've existed. So there's been many times that I've had to get up in front of them and give the typical business owner, CEO, rah-rah speech as we were facing different things. I mean, when we first started the company, it was 2 weeks after September 11th. So y'all remember what the economy was like back then. It was tough. So we spent about every other week getting together talking about unwinding it. And then once we got through that, then we had the big, huge financial meltdown in 2008. We somehow made it through that. And then we broke up with a partner who we had been partners with for 8 years and kind of decided that we were going to go in different directions. And anytime you do something like that within an organization, that is a huge, there's a lot of things that come with it that you wouldn't even understand or expect. And so, but we made it through that, and then the pandemic. So it's remarkable, all the different things that we've made it through. But historically, every time I would get up in front of the team, as I would be addressing them, I would also be thinking about how they were going to be interpreting what I was saying, what objections they might have. And so my 100% focus was not on addressing the team and sharing what I had to share, but it was split up. Some of my focus was on that. Other parts of my focus was on, trying to interpret what I was saying to them through their lens and how they were going to be receiving it. And then another part was thinking about any objections that they would have. So literally I was splitting my attention in 3 different areas. And as I look at it now, I understand it was, probably the foundational belief of how you had to look when you're successful or whatever it is, but or just the insecurity because I had never run a company before. I never had any background running a company except for the 21 years I've been doing it. But there's just a lot of stuff in that. But I noticed yesterday, as I was talking to them, right from the very beginning, I felt like there was a connection. And I was able to say things that I wasn't able to say in the past. I was able to open up and share with them. And one of the things I shared was, I don't just want Mindscape to be a place that people come to and do work, and that's how they pay their bills. I want it to be more than that. We have a team at Mindscape that just absolutely loves each other. And you can see it in the way that they are. And a lot of the times they'll even tell each other, publicly. But I don't know, I've been thinking a lot about that this morning, and just how nice it is to actually recognize that if you have a message to share with someone, you can just share that message. You don't have to worry about anything. You can't control how they're going to receive it. You can't control any objections that they're going to have. And you certainly, a lot of the times, you're going to think that they may have objections, or they may have pushback or judgments on what it is you're sharing with them. And you could be completely wrong. So you think about all the energy you waste trying to navigate that landmine, or the landmine field, and you're literally the one that's creating the landmine field as you're walking through it. It just doesn't make any sense, and I'm so happy that I can see that now. But I never have any regrets in my life. That's one thing I steer clear of because I can't change it. But I know where a lot of regret comes from. It's from either not trying something that you said you were going to try, not saying something that you really feel like you should say to somebody, whatever that happens to be. But I know one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to speak from my heart, and I'm going to speak authentically from myself. When I see something, I'm going to share it in the way that I want to share it. And I'm going to just be me, and I'm not going to think about that judgment. And I would encourage you to do the same thing, because a lot of the time, the things that we obsess over and just that drive us crazy, that we worry about, and then you all of a sudden have a conversation with a person and realize that it was all self-created. It had nothing to do with reality. And their opinion or their viewpoint was completely the opposite of what you had imagined and created their opinion or viewpoint to be. So anyway, that's it. It just feels really good to be able to be authentic and to not have to try to appear a certain way or worry about judgment or any of that stuff. Just live, be yourself. It feels really, really good. But that's it. I'm going to continue to be myself in a brand new way. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks.